Perplexity have just released Deep Research. Now, this is like an alternative to OpenAI's Deep Research, except here's the biggest difference. Normally, you would pay $200 for deep research capabilities inside ChatGPT Pro, but now you get access to it for free inside Perplexity. So you get up to 5 queries per day for non-subscribers and 500 queries per day for pro users. Bear in mind, ChatGPT's deep research limit is 100 per month for operator. Whereas if you're on the free plan on Perplexity, you get 5 queries per day. You can see it in action right here. Here's an example of the benchmarks. So if we pull this up, this is a comparison for QA of Perplexity Deep Research versus OpenAI. And you can see a huge difference right there, which is pretty wild. We've got the deep research stats on Perplexity scores. So it scored 21.1% on humanities last exam, outperforming Gemini, Thinking, O3 Mini, O1, DeepSeek R1, and other top models. We'll be testing out today. I'll show you exactly how to get access and how to use this step by step. But I'm super excited. Perplexity always come up with the goods. So let's get straight into it. So if you want to get started with this, just open up a new thread, and then you're going to select Deep Research from the dropdown. So this is what you can use. And if we say, for example, okay, tell me about how AI will impact SEO in 2025, we'll plug that in. And you can see it's now beginning to do the deep research. Now it says, deep research often takes a few minutes to complete. I'll start by preparing a research plan. Now, bear in mind, if you're using ChatGPT and the deep research function in there, it's usually going to take about 10 to 30 minutes per research report. So we'll put exactly the same prompt into ChatGPT versus Perplexity and compare the deep research functionalities here. But here, what ChatGPT often does, it will come back to you and say, can you clarify a few aspects? I'm just going to say, give me all of them, and it will go off and start doing the research. But here you can see that it's actually going to take quite a long time to get that back. If we come on to Perplexity, it seems to be a lot faster when we're getting the results. Now, if we click on starting research, there's no feedback from ChatGPT. But if we go back to Perplexity, it's already telling us, okay, we've looked at 25 sources. Here's what we're going to do step by step. So it's like think it out as a reasoning model. It's giving us all the sources. And then once it's ready, it's going to tell us exactly what we need to do. So if we have a look at these steps, first of all, I need to search the web for information on how AI is expected to impact SEO trends 2025, right? From the most recent research, I found a wealth of information suggesting that AI is significantly transforming SEO, blah, blah, blah. And it's just going off and do the magic. Now, the answer has already come back to us, and we've got a pretty detailed report here. Now, it's still reeling off, but that is pretty powerful stuff. Now, for sure, this has been triggered by the release from ChatGPT on deep research, but you can see you get very similar outputs, except that Perplexity seems to be a lot faster. So ChatGPT is not even, I would say it's probably about 20% of the way through this. So it's going to take quite a while to get that back, whereas Perplexity has already come back to us with the goods. You can also inside here, ask to search images, videos, and generate an image as well. And it also gives you follow-up questions right here. Top of that, you can share this with people, so you can share it with your team. If we open this up on a new incognito, we'll check what we got back here. So if we open this up, we can X off that, and we can actually share it with people. Like they don't need to log in or anything like that. And then we've got the sources. So you can see these numbers here. These are sources of the research that was used. So it's using, for example, like Brian Dean's Exploding Topics article on the future of SEO. And this was published in 2025. So it's not using like really old data from what I can see. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, again, this is a pretty recent blog that we can see from SEOmator.com. And it summarized the key findings and then the evolution of everything. So it seems to be a lot faster. And again, you can do this for free. You get 5 free queries per day for non-subscribers. So you don't need to sign up to the premium plan. You don't need to pay for this. And this is like a very valid alternative to using ChatGPT's deep research, which costs $200 per month. Now that's halfway through, I would say at this point. It's already used 22 sources on ChatGPT. But again, like if you want speedy, fast results, you don't want to wait 30 minutes and open up ChatGPT and then close it and then wait ages, then this is probably the best alternative. Now, what I want to test as well is whether we can do multiple different research reports in different tabs. So I'm going to say, for example, research similar alternatives to profit boardroom community, and we'll plug that in. So let's see if we can upload images directly inside here. Yeah, so you can upload images, which is pretty useful. Let's have a look if you can do that inside ChatGPT deep research options. So if we select deep research, yeah, you can upload images inside ChatGPT deep research too. And then I want to say, based on my community, for the AI profit boardroom, give me a breakdown of the market and my competitors. plus what I need to think about in this industry to improve my offer. By the way, if you want to join the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. So we've given that to Perplexity to figure out now, and it's researching the profit boardrooms market and competitors. So that's pretty cool. And then if we go inside here, we're going to say, okay, do a research report on automation agencies. Here's some info about my agency services for AI automation, right? And then for this one, we're just going to get some information from our website. We'll copy that. We'll plug it into Perplexity and see what we get back. Now, the thing I like as well is it doesn't ask us for more information. It just goes off and does it. Whereas, for example, GPT makes it a little bit more complex because it gives you loads of questions, right? Before you can even get the answer. And so like, I think some people will just be like, I can't be bothered answering all these questions. I'm just going to go off and get the report, honestly. And then you've got the report already back from Perplexity on the community ideas. And then also it's doing the research on the AI automation. So you can open multiple tabs and then do multiple research reports at the same time, which is great, because then you don't have to wait for one report, then do another, and otherwise you're going to be wasting a lot of time. So let's have a look at some of the key ideas and stats from this report and just really analyze it in detail. So it's got key findings, AI overviews dominate the SERPs, content quality over quantity, that makes sense, fragmented search behavior. These are pretty valid key findings. I would say this is the way AI is going. If you see my interview with Neil Patel, then you have seen this insight on fragmented search behavior and how we were talking about how in 2025, it's really like a search everywhere, not just search Google SEO strategy that you want to be implementing. And then also, this is a pretty good stat as well. Automation efficiency. 86% of SEO professionals leverage AI tools to save 12.5 hours weekly on tasks like keyword research and site audits. Pretty useful stuff right there. Then it's talked about the rise of AI first search engines, for example, like Search GPT and Google Search Generative Experience. Everything in here feels better than what you would get normally from a research report. Everything in here is quite to the point as well. These are very valid insights, but it's not too wordy and it's not too long. If we take that whole report, let's see what we got here. So we'll take that, open up, and it is in total 1,200 words. So it's not too long. ChatGPT is still coming back to us. Meanwhile, Perplexity has already done 2 different research reports. So it's done 3 research reports essentially in the time that ChatGPT is still doing 1. And we'll compare the insights from Chat. Let's have a look on the next one. So it's giving us a market overview, and the global AI market is experiencing rapid growth with an expected annual growth rate of 36%. Good time to be in the market, by the way. Some ideas on different communities that we're competing with. I've never actually heard of any of these, to be fair. Let's see where they're getting that from. These are more like AI tools. I wouldn't say they're direct competitors, so I don't know how it's got that insight, to be honest. So indirect competitors, AI business tools and consulting services. Direct competitors, these are not direct competitors, to be fair. Like, for example, BoardMix, that seems to be more like an AI tool, not a community, so it's not really a competitor. Not very useful, honestly. I would definitely say like the SEO report is much more useful than the AI community report that's come back to us. Then it's given us key considerations for improving your offer, and we've already incorporated a lot of this stuff on the page, so that's not very useful either. And then it's given us some actionable reports. And it said, conduct a detailed competitor analysis using tools like BoardMix, invest in developing or integrating cutting-edge AI features, regularly engage members, thank you Captain Obvious. If you have a community, of course, you're going to do that. Monitor industry trends. So here's what I'm thinking, right? And my opinion has changed dramatically from this report versus the first one on like industry insights. Super useful. Like this stuff, this is great, right? The second report that we got back for the community and how to improve the offer, all this stuff is super obvious and not very relevant, right? So I would say it's very generic. I would rate this report probably about a 2 out of 10. This report is probably coming in at a 7 out of 10 and probably better than most humans can do. Let's check the last one. So now we've asked for details on like research report on AI automation agencies based on what we're doing. So let's see what it's come back here. We'll check the word count first of all. 1,000 words. Honestly, like the word count is not that different from your typical Perplexity report. The whole headline feels like very AI, if that makes sense. Like the transformative role of AI automation agencies. Pretty generic and feels like AI fluff. This is all fluff. This is pretty useful stuff to know. So it's giving us some ideas on what we could sell. Pricing models, that's super useful to be fair. It's giving us some ideas on what we can charge, how much people are charging for like SaaS tools in the same space, retainers, and also challenges and ethical considerations. So I'm rating this one, I would say this is probably about a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. The conclusion isn't bad. Yeah, I'm giving that a 6 out of 10. Let's have a look what ChatGPT came back to us with. Wow, we're still waiting for that. Could be waiting all day for that. This could be a long video just waiting around for ChatGPT to generate the research reports. Let's see what else we can do here. So you can add it to a space. You can also convert it to a page. So when you convert this to a page, what that means is it's indexable and shareable to pretty much everyone on Perplexity. So for example, if we type in on Google Perplexity /page, which is where all the Perplexity pages are stored, you can see there's 10 different pages of content, right? And this stuff actually ranks on Google. If we go onto Google now, if we actually check out Perplexity's rankings and how much traffic they get from their pages section, you can see they're getting like 122K traffic just from the pages category, including subfolders, which is pretty impressive to be fair. And also this stuff indexes on Google. If we look over the last week, you can see stuff is indexing and ranking on Google within the last few days. So that's pretty useful as well. It's a nice little feature. And also you can design this page once you've published it as a page, and then insert sections, add media, edit different bits, insert more content at the bottom, etc., and add a cover as well. You can actually generate the cover using AI. So if we click on generate image and then photograph, it will actually generate like a cover image for our Perplexity page based on the original report that we created. Let's see what other sources it's used here. So it's using some pretty irrelevant stuff as well from the list that I can see. Not bad. To be fair, like the reports are not bad. By the way, that is a terrible image on the Perplexity page that's published. So I think it's a great free alternative. Very quick. That's what I like about it. It definitely is a competitor to ChatGPT Deep Research. I like the way that it cuts out the fluff as well. And also the stats and the insights, pretty useful in the majority of cases. All right, so came back 20 minutes later and the ChatGPT Deep Research report is still thinking. It's been stuck on like the last bit of progress right there for about 5 or 10 minutes. Doesn't seem to have come back to us. So from what I can see, Perplexity is definitely a better option. It's cheaper, it's free, it works quickly, you actually get results. The resources, I would say they're better than your average researcher, but they're probably not going to beat like your specialist researcher, if that makes sense. So someone who like, if you're comparing this versus a PhD researcher, I think you're going to get better results back from a human, but it's still pretty powerful and super useful. Plus you can ask follow-ups and go deeper into the topics that you want after you've done the first set of deep research, and you can keep that selected on deep research down there. Now, if you want to see a previous report that actually worked on ChatGPT for deep research, you can see this example. This was actually done in just 9 minutes using 19 resources. Now, if we actually look, the research you get back from ChatGPT is much more in depth than Perplexity, right? There's a much higher word count here. If we actually count the word count, let me have a look in a second, see what we got here. So that is in total 10,600 words. So it's a lot more in depth, but there's a lot more fluff in there as well. If you want to just get straight to the facts, he's going to do that job for you, like you can see right here. But if you need a dissertation level research report, then this is probably more in depth than a human can actually do. However, what you can see here is that quite often it will source places that are not that reliable, right? So for example, if you were trying to create an expert research report, you're probably not going to check on forums on Reddit where anyone can post. But inside ChatGPT, it actually does do that quite often. And additionally, it's just got a lot of fluff in there. To actually read this report, it's going to take you about an hour or so to get through 10,000 words. So thanks so much for watching. Perplexity Deep Research is a great option, like you can see, completely free. You can get access to it now. And if you want to get access to the AI Profit Boardroom, which comes with 3 hot seat calls, my best AI SEO, tons of training on AI agents, social media platforms, etc. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. And additionally, it comes with a community of nearly 100 people interested in AI, along with weekly calls directly with me in the group. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to book that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets to SEO link building, or answer any questions you have one-to-one. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors and how to 10x your SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching.